Hey guys, just another match. It had some decent fighting in it, so I thought that that'd be a good idea to show it. It is a shorter match, so um, English against Mongols on Mongolian heights. Against English, it's pretty rough to fight then, unless your cast was Mongols, just because the Longwomen just are quite strong against your Mangadai raids. We'll watch it from my perspective, just so you get a good feel of kind of, I guess, my thought process. Um, Dropping it closer to the gold. The Ubu's a little far, but it's not a big deal. Gonna collect 5 villages on wood, drop these sheep. Here's Mongolian heights, so I'm gonna build a scout first because there's a lot of sheep on this map, and then I'm gonna go a couple villagers. My villager finishing Ubu's coming back on the sheep, and right off the get go, we get a nice haul of sheep here on our side. I do want to see. So he went that way, and he cut across this way, and he missed a bunch of sheep, unfortunately for him. And there wasn't too much on the. So a little bit back from the river is where they were. So he's gonna circle back and pick those up, I'm sure. Anywho, so I made him a scout, and I missed that sheep right there. But my Conda got a really good haul of 9 sheep, which was big. It really cuts down on your need to put any investment into pastures early. Um, that being said, we still have 4 on wood. Drop off those sheep and we'll keep scouting. We bump into his scout, which has only 2 sheep. And we're going to start checking his side. Our side's all cleared out. And we got most of our sheep. We probably missed out maybe 1 or 2. But overall, good job. We got up to 100 wood. We're going to drop a tower here. Just to have line of sight. As well as just in case he raids, does some cheeky pressure or anything. It's really unlikely. Most English players don't. But it's kind of a good habit to have. So checking around the top here, check out the bottom. We do find 1 more sheep on his side. Another big thing here is if he sometimes they'll harass you with a couple of scouts. His sheep haul didn't look great, so there's a good possibility of him kind of raiding me there. So kind of unfortunate. I missed another sheep right here. I didn't see it, but on the plus side with my con, I'm able to pick up another one. So there's probably 2 more sheep that this scout could have had initially, and then afterwards. I also see his wood line and his mill. So I see he's on berries, which is kind of not recommended for English. But if it's only 3, it's not a big deal. So eco-wise, we're pretty much even in terms of resources. He's got a lot more food, but I've got more gold. Um, Finish clearing that area up, and then our con's gonna go finish north. I think. Yeah, so this sheep I miss again. So there's just 1 sheep that's out there that that both of us missed, unfortunately. And we're up to 12 on food, 1 on wood, and 2 on gold. We're starting to rally our villagers on to wood now. We will be able to age up here shortly. I was trying to get to a fast age up, but my age up was actually pretty late at 4:30. I wonder if I see the sheep. No, I still don't see the sheep. It's unfortunate. But who was I watching? I was watching one of Puppy Paw's games. It's a really good player, and he was actually starting to age up at 245. So a full 2 minutes before this, I saw him aging up, which is pretty impressive. Aged up, but his eco wasn't in great shape. So I'm not sure if it's entirely worth aging up at 245 if you don't have a good eco. That being said, he just put 10 villagers on his council, so I was figuring he's gonna rush me. If he's trying to pump up that council as fast as he can, it's because he's gonna rush. And I see a longbowman coming out, and I'm falling back. I'm tapping up actually with a bunch of villagers too. I didn't want to fall behind if he's coming with longbowmen. So tap up this fish stones real quick. Speed bonus for my villagers, and kind of stabilize my economy. I've got 6 on wood, 4 on food, and we're dropping his stables. At the same time, I'm keeping a little bit of a vision here. I see he's got 2 longbowmen. My con's gonna go up and around and kind of harass his backside. He does see my scout here, and he's gonna start pushing me. And I just kind of fall back. I didn't want to deal with that. He's gonna kill me very quick. And I try to pull him back into my TC. He kind of forgot about it, what it seems like. So we almost got a pick here. So close, but nothing. My con's kind of dealing with this wolf. I try to pick off this one scout, but he's going to fall back, so I have to fall back. And he's going to pull that scout before he gets into TC range. So we stopped our production on wood because I was worried about if I was about to get longbow rushed. I didn't want to be overproducing wood if he had a big army, and he does. He's got 4 longbows, so it's definitely could start kind of it's on the limit where he could be aging up conservatively, or he's thinking about pushing me hard. If we just check real quick, 12 on wood, got 6 on berries, 3 down here. So Zico's kind of all over the place actually. Let's go back to what I can see. So I kind of harassed here a little bit. I click him away and click him back just to keep harassing. And I've seen now that he's got up to 6 longbows. So once they're past like the 5 longbow threshold is when they're going to start pushing. And sure enough, he's got 7. He might have been going to snipe my scout, but I couldn't be sure of it. So my con's able to kind of do some damage here on the villagers, push them off. And I was busy macroing at base, unfortunately, and I lose my con. But because I saw his massive longbowman, I double produced 2 sets of horsemen. And I'm going to drop another stable here. Because, I had an okay vision in terms of this longbow mass. He's got 7 of them. There's a really strong possibility of him pushing really hard. I'm getting the horseman upgrade as well as iron undermesh and an eco the wheelbarrow. So the big thing against long English, always get that iron undermesh first. Out of all your blacksmith upgrades, always get the iron undermesh first. And if you got a horseman, follow it up with bloomery. So you're getting you're tankier and you're doing more damage. Still rallying all my guys basically onto food. We're at 17 on food. The food wheelbarrow is about to come through. Iron undermesh comes through. And I'm moving up the villager kind of as a sacrificial pawn. I probably should have done it with the scout. And yeah, I'm able to highlight here, and I see he's got 12 longbows. And that's that. And they're so close. So he's either gonna start pressuring me, or he's gonna ram push me. So now we're up to horsemen, and we got double production, 2 double productions, so 4 more horsemen. We're at 7 right now, basically 8 with the scout. We're gonna be up to 12 units quickly. So we're gonna basically add 50% to our army. And behind this, I was pretty sure I stopped making more. I was worried about him. Um, aging up and me not aging up. So I'm able to push him. He's got his longbowman, but he just has to fall back. He's not going to be able to stay and commit to that fight. I do lose my scout. So that's kind of the plus side of having a scout mass in front. But we're able to get a good pick on that first ram before his spearmen are really incorporated into his army. So he's got 14 longbows and 3 spears. He probably could have fought that, but he didn't. And he's kind of falling back and going to intercept me. I didn't know what he was doing in terms of intercepting me. I'm wrapping around trying to flank. It's either one of two things. He's going to stay and try to push me, or he's going to try to intercept. I garrison these villagers, and I'm able to get... I just do it on the wood villagers. I didn't want to interrupt my food eco. Though I should have done it on my food eco instead of my wood eco. I'm up here. I see he went on the intercept route, which is actually good because I don't have towers to deal with this longbow pressure. And I'm actually happy that he's kind of followed this army. Now I take this army, and yeah, he just sees me going down, so he's assuming that I'm wrapping around, and that's not actually what I'm doing. So I just kind of stayed out of vision, and after a certain amount of time, I figured that he's pretty much right around here-ish, and I double back. And I leaves his army in no man's land, and he's kind of has to make a decision. So yeah, I stay out of vision, come forward, and his army just is chilling here and massing. I figured that he was gonna go forward and push, but it looks like he was just sitting. If he had, so he was actually going forward there. And when he starts to come forward, I start raiding his base, and yeah, so he's pulling back now. And if he had been going forward more, he would have been probably by the river at this point. This is burning. While it's burning, I'm going to start burning down another one, take advantage of that. Let's go my vision. Behind this, we're aging up with the step readout. For gold, we're not doing any trades, so we just wanted to secure that. We move the Gur. His army's up here. We burn down those 2 houses. If we see his... So he's housed now. So that's pretty big, actually. So we were able to house him with those 2 houses. It's another thing if you're playing another civ as well, against Mongols, or any, basically, raiding civ. Don't build your houses outside of TC range, or under, make sure it's under a tower. It's a great way to kind of slow down your opponent is housing him. So my army's pulled back, and I don't know if he's gonna sit or what he's gonna do. Some reason he's got villages in here, and I'm coming back to raid again. I'm assuming that he was getting ready to push. I figured he was up around here, and by the time I raid, he's pretty close there. Now the big thing is that I've aged up, and I'm done producing lancers, and I'm building 1 more horseman and a couple of scouts because the vision was kind of killing me. So we're able to take out the mining camp. His TC is hitting my horsemen, but it's definitely worth getting this burn down. And I get some eco. I lose 1 horseman, but this house is gonna burn down unless he repairs it, which is gonna cost a bunch of wood and a villager. And we got 2 stables going up. I know he's got a lot of spearmen, so I'm building a bunch of a couple archery ranges, so I can kind of start pumping out Mangadai to deal with the incoming spearmen. And he had a pretty decent sized force, and he does. He's got 40 units here. It's a good sized army. My cav is still way up here, and I think I come in and hit this blacksmith. Or I rally back home. So okay, so I rally back home. I probably could have come in and started raiding, and it probably would have been better to have hit this wood eco. But I figured that he was pushing, and I'd spent too much time back there, not raiding. So I figured that he might take this opportunity to push, and he was. And I can just barely see that his battering ram is getting built. Again, I can see it's a mix of mostly longbowmen and a spearman here and there. So I see that, and we're gonna pull these cav units back, and we got a decent cav force, 18 cav, and but we've only got um, 2 mangadai, 3 mangadai, but we got 3 more mangadai in production. We got another one just popped out, and a little bit of bad micro there. We didn't pull that mangadai in time. But the big thing is I'm garrison everyone here. I do still have some guys here, getting us some food production in behind, and I'm sending the cav behind to pull these spearmen. And I've got some lancers here. I've got 4 lancers, so I know he's got some spearmen. They're doing a weird kind of dance here, and we're getting a couple spearmen here, and we got a couple mangadai dealing with what is the with an issue here. I had pulled my villagers as well to deal with this ram, and now his army is just kind of has to fall back. And while he's falling back, we got 1 mangadai kind of doing a little bit of damage here. Another mangadai on the way. 3 more mangadai in production, 2 lancers and 3 horsemen in production. So we're still massing our army up, and we're gonna wipe this army completely, which is big. Behind this villager was supposed to have built an ubu. He didn't. We're collecting a good gold, and we got 17 on food, and we're rallying villagers on the wood because I felt like that he was able to mass a bigger army than I was, and if that happens again, I might lose. That being said, he's dropping houses. He is dropping another barracks. He's got an army getting formed up. But eco-wise, I have 43, and he has 40. So at this point, the raids and stuff, we're pretty even in terms of where we're at army-wise. So this is a mostly Lancer raiding force. It's going to do a lot of damage. I know he's not castle. He doesn't have crossbowmen up. And I figured because of his big armies, he's not going to be in there. He's not near to aging up either. And if he pushes me again, since he's going heavy spearmen, I'm dedicating a big force of mangadai here so I can kite back and deal with his pressure here. We're going up to 4 ranges and 3 stables. Raid is woodline here, and this counter raid does a ton of damage. We kill like 2-3 villagers, and we idle 20 villagers. So that's a big thing, is it's just at the idle time. We pull back, and then we hit the blacksmith. He figures that I was fully pulling back, and he brings back his troops. And now I pull back now that his spearmen have arrived. At the same time, the next batch of lancers and horsemen deal with a couple villagers here, and we're working on burning down a bunch of these houses to get them housed again. I see that he's got 12 here now, so it was going to be a big amount to deal with. These guys will fall back. The scout vision helps a ton. I see his army's rotating, not dealing with me. His army's down here. So we pull these guys back. They burned down a house, and these guys are now hitting up with this blacksmith. In terms of the blacksmith, let's see. Yeah, he's got +1 upgrades on almost everything. So I'd like to see, yeah, he's got ranged armor upgrades. Kind of unfortunate with that raid there. I ran right into his army, didn't see it. But on the plus side, I still have this army burning down this blacksmith. And at my base, I've got a solid 14 mangadai, and we're starting to build up a cav force again. We got 4 ranges, 3 stables, so it's a solid infrastructure that's kind of going. And we burned down this blacksmith. His army's nowhere to be seen, so I think he's not taking this threat very seriously. These lancers, so I'm gonna come in and raid his villagers here, and picking off villagers, and once again idling his eco, which is the big thing. Meanwhile, at the base here, we've got 5 cav and 16 manga die. So his spearmen are pushing us hard. Over here, yeah, we're just doing a little bit of raiding. We pulled back. Um, we had pulled his attention away a little bit, and we were able to get a little bit of a charge in. But his spearmen fall back, and at this point, we were really suffering on food, dropping a couple lancers. I didn't have a market at this point to equalize my gold income, and I was building villages again back onto food. So I lose pretty much uh, my front position here, but I'm able to. His spearmen are unfortunately for him are focused on my manga die, and my lancers are able to dive these um, into these longbowmen, and then the new batch of longbowmen or of manga die was able to help here, and then my my lancers got chewed up here pretty bad from the couple of spearmen and the longbows, but we were able to win this. And we still had about 15 manga die. And so after he loses that, he pretty much had very little eco. We came in with another raid, killed a couple of villagers. But the big thing was the counter raids, a couple of good fights, and taking the good fights and being able to kind of outmaneuver him with a couple of raids and keeping his army not attacking us but defending him. Yeah, so it was a short match and had a couple of good aspects to it. And yeah, it looks like the fast cast was more than definitely viable, especially against an English opponent. We just kind of have to make sure that your infrastructure doesn't fall behind, so you can keep producing units.